Welcome. In this tutorial, I'm going to introduce you to the templates that I've talked about before. Remember, the concept behind a template is to make all of your web pages have the same look and feel. And if you make a change to one page, for instance, if you add a menu item, if you change the spelling of a menu item, if you change the link of a menu item, all of the pages that use this template will be updated. Now, one thing I'm not too fond about in this chapter is they kind of work backwards. Creating the template is correct way to do things, and they actually do it that way. But normally, you don't attach a template to an existing web file. You normally create the web file, the new web file from the template. But if you already have one created and you want to attach it, then you're going to do it the way the book shows you to. However, there are certain rules and regulations that need to be followed before you can do that. And you'll see exactly what that is very shortly. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on live view. And I'm working on page 187, starting with number 1. It wants to delete the placeholder in the text, the main copy, and the sidebar section. Now notice how easy it is to see which one it is. We have section main copy and we have section sidebar. Again, I'm really a big fan of deleting things in code view. So I'm going to select it here, and just to make sure that I have it selected properly, I'm going to go into code, and you can see that we really don't. So I'm going to go in here and select that. So I'll go back into live view and do it that way as well. And I'm now going to delete it. And we're missing an E. So we just deleted it. And notice that it added the non-breaking space. So let's go back in here and let me show you a problem. You may be thinking, why can't I just click on the section or the sidebar and delete it that way? And I'm going to show you why. So let's go into sidebar, and that would be the logical thing to do. So let me go into code view, and notice what it did was selected the ID and the section tag itself. So you don't want that. We only want this over here. And I'm going to delete this. And notice that it does not add the non-breaking space in code view. So always remember that. However, you're not going to need the non-breaking space shortly. So let's take care of that over here. That was number 2. And now we're going to go down to number 3, where it says replace the placeholder text in the footer div with the following. And I'm going to show you a problem with the text over there. It's dark. I've talked about having white backgrounds and black text. And I talked about having images as backgrounds and the hassles that they can cause and the issues that they can cause. Here's a perfect example. Where is it if you had a seeing problem, an eye problem, as older people may do, and you're looking for something, the text is not very visible. So I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to do it in code view, selecting everything. Then I'm going to put site design by against the clock. Incorporated. Okay, number 4 says we need to change the CSS panel, and in the footer section, we're going to change the text color to white. Very easy to do. So let's go into the CSS designer, and we can click on current if we want. Click on footer, and notice it goes to footer. To get to the text, just click on the T, and you notice that the color is undefined. So that means it's going to inherit what's in the parent tag. So let's go and change the color. An easy way to change the color to white is drag this all the way up here. And I guess I did not get it all the way. Now I did. If I wanted to make it black, I could drag it all the way down. Or, of course, I can type in F's as well. Once I hit the Enter key, notice that the text changes to white. Now, what you would probably do in here is maybe change the background color to something different and maybe put some padding on the top and the bottom. That will save for another video. That was number 4 on page 187. Then I'm going to do File, Save the Template. Now, the book does not tell you this, but let's go in File, and notice Save as Template is grayed out. Well, the reason for that is we're in live view. So one of the things you always remember, if something's grayed out and you're in live view, go to design view. If something doesn't work the way the book is telling you and you're in design view, try it in live view. So let's go to File, and now we can save as a template. Now, one of the things the book tells you to do, and I'm going to change this, it tells you to save it as design. I'm going to change it to museum. Design does not really describe the template. Museum does. Or you could put Getty, something that's there. However, you're normally only going to have one template per site. So we're going to have in the description, we're going to type museum site template. So my question to the book is, if you're calling it museum site template, why are you calling the template design? Don't know, don't care. Going to change it over here to museum. If you don't want to, that's okay. And you can save this with a capital letter or a lowercase letter because that has nothing to do with the actual site that you're going to upload over here. So I'm doing this here, and make sure if you get the question, do you want to update? Answer that question, yes. So let's click on save and update links, yes. Make sure you answer that question, yes. And boom, we're done. Okay, so that was number 8 and 9. Number 10, we're going to show the page source, and I'm going to explain it as best as I can for you. We're going into code. Up top here, again, is all the standard stuff that you guys saw. The template, begin editable name, doc style, so that gets added automatically. You can change that. Anything in a template is not editable unless it specifically says begin editable, and it'll give you a name, and end editable. And same thing, you have it in the head, and you have an end in the head. You have nothing in the actual page itself, starting with the body. Now, you're not going to see anything if I go into design. You're not going to see anything different. But if we go into code, this allows you, when you create a new page from the template, to change the title. And the editable over here allows you to change items in the head, like adding descriptions and things of that nature. So that's very, very important. When we create a page from a template, you will understand that. And I will explain that to you as much as I can. So we're going to change the document title to the Getty Foundation, which you can do it down here. You can do it up here. I'll just do it down here because that's where I am. The Getty Foundation. Hit the Enter key. And notice that it changed it up there. That was number 11. Then in design pane, we're going to place insertion point in the main copy section and click main copy. All right, so let's go over here. Now we've lost the main copy section over here, so that's not a big deal. Let's go to code and let's find main copy. Let's click on main copy here. Let's go to design. You do not have to do this, but you always want to make sure that you're in the right one. So Notice this little gray border over here. That is your padding. One of the things Dreamweaver lets you do is hold your mouse over it and it tells you what it is. So you're going to have padding over here, padding. It doesn't say padding top. It just tells you that it's padding in there. There was a border over here, and it tells you all the things that are about over here. It tells you the ID. We don't have a class assigned to it. It tells you the tag, which is a section. See over here. And we have float left, and we have width, and so on. All right, so number 12, we're going to click the insertion point in the main copy section, and then we're going to click on the section in here to select the entire, which we did. And what we're going to do is we're going to create an editable region. An editable region will allow you, when you create a page from a template, to edit it. If it's not an editable region, you're going to get that nasty circle with the slash in it. So we're clicking over here, and we're clicking on main copy. And then we're going to click on section. And let's go into code, and let's just see what we have. So we have the whole section, which is inside of page content. Then it's going to tell us, click the blue page content tag above the editable region. We need to create an editable region. So we're going to click in insert. We're going to go to template, and we're going to go editable region. That creates an editable region for us. Then for the name, instead of editable region 3, the reason why it's editable region 3 is because there are already 2 editable regions. It tells us to type in page content. Fairly easy, and you're going to see something change. Boom. Notice right up here, it's got this little, like a little tab that you have on a file folder that says page content. So let's go into code view now and see what it did. It created an editable region and named it page content. And it ended it after the main copy section. One thing the book tells you is that when you go into the page, you won't see that little blue thing. That is for your reference only. So now what we're going to do in the page code, move the closing code of the editable region, and they want it after the section sidebar. So what we're going to do here is just cut and paste. And that takes care of that. So let's go back in design view, and let's click on page content, and now we have it here. Now, if you're going to ask me why didn't we just go in and select both of them and then create the editable region, and the only answer I can give you is because that's the way the book says to do. I would not have done it that way. However, I want you to be able to see things that you can manipulate through code view. Now we're going to do File, Save All, which is here. And we're going to update all of these in here. Now, the reason why you're getting that is because I've already created the about, the permanent, and that. So what I'm going to do is pause the video and go back and get rid of the templates that are attached to that. And I'm going to pause the video. Okay, I'm back. So let me close this over here. And let's go to open up the exhibits. One thing it wants you to do is go into Edit and Preferences and check on Templates. You can either do it from in here, or you can actually do the templates, and you can do the site setup from in here. And you want to make sure that this is on page 191. You want to make sure that there's a certain thing that makes sure that don't rewrite option is checked on there. So you definitely want to do that in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the files that it tells us to, and I'm going to actually apply the thing. So the first one is about. So let's open up about. And let's go to tools and templates and apply template to page. We're going to click on museum. Going to click on select. And now we have a problem. And that's what I was telling you about in the beginning, that because of adding an existing page to a template, if it's not set up properly, it's not going to know where to do things. So what we're going to do is, instead of choosing document and not resolved, we're going to change it to page content. And that is the template editable region that we chose. Click on OK, and boom. Look how that changed automatically. So I'm going to save this file. Then I'm going to open up design. And I'm going to do the same thing. Tools, templates, museum, select. And actually, I did the wrong thing. We don't want design. We wanted these over here. We did about. And traveling exhibits. And by the way, these things are anchor points. That allows you to go to a specific part of a page. Now, they don't print when you're in the actual web page itself, but it's there to let you know that there's an anchor. So go to tools, templates, and click over here, select, not resolved, and page content, and boom. So let's save this and close it. Let's save this and close it. We don't need to design anymore. That actually should have been our index page, but that's okay. And let's close this and close this. And my Dreamweaver has crashed. Fantastic. All righty, welcome. Now my local version actually crashed. I'm not working off GoBarry, so we can't blame that one on him. We'll blame it on Adobe. So let's go back open to the design museum template. And we're in good shape. Notice we have the page content. So let's change one thing. Let's just put the, and I'm just going to add a the. Then I'm going to save it. And look what it's going to do. It's going to ask me, do I want to update about permanent there? So let's click on update. And hopefully everything works, which is good. We didn't get any errors. So let's open up about. And notice the the is changed. Now look at this. See the little circle with the slash in here? That means you cannot edit that part. That saves you from somebody else that's working on it making changes. But if you go over here, you can change all these things because that's an editable. So let's go into code view, and you can see you have the editor view over here. Looks a little bit harder to read than before, but you can see it over here. We can go into change the Getty Foundation, which is the title. Let's go down to the footer, and guess what? We can't change the footer. So boom. Now probably what I'm going to do when we get to the CSS, I'm going to change the footer and make it a different color background. It's still hard to do. I'm going to make the put a border around it maybe and do some things just to give you a little bit more of a feel over here. So we applied it. We've done that. And we're editing a design. Okay. So what we need to do now is we need to create links. So I'm in the museum template here. And we're going to add links. So let me get rid of this "the" here. So I'm going to select this over here. I'm going to go to link. I'm going to drag it to about. And boom, makes the link. Same thing here. Remember, you have to select it before you can create a link. And we want traveling exhibits. And then we want permanent exhibits. Selecting it here. Permanent exhibits, and boom. Now, notice that nothing changed here. That's a dead giveaway that it wasn't selected. So let's try it again. And we worked. Okay, I'm not going to save it just yet. I'm going to go to about. And notice that nothing's changed in about here. So let's go back to our template. Let's save it. And we want to update all these here. Click on OK. Click on Update. This is our log. If you want to see anything, it tells us. If we have any problems, we can see these are updated. Click on Close. Let's go back to About. And notice it's changed. However, make sure that you save this. If you update your web page and you don't save it, you're not going to see the changes. We saved everything there. That takes care of up to page 196. So we're going to close the template file and the properties. We're going to add about the Getty in there in the existing document tile, which we've done. So let's go into about, and let's change it to about the Getty. Now notice you're getting this from the template. So let's put about the Getty. Actually, it wants us to add to it. So let's put the Getty Foundation, about the Getty. And hit the enter key. I do this, unfortunately, by memory and don't read the book sometimes when I'm doing these videos, so please forgive me. I'm going to save this, and we're good there. Now what I'm going to do last is open up a new file just to show you what we normally will do. We're going to go File. You're going to go New. We've been creating a new one with nothing on it. Here, we can create one from a site template. This is what your site template looks like. If you had more than one, it would be in there. Make sure this is checked. Update pages when template changes. Click on Create, and notice it added everything. So that's it for this video. Look forward to seeing you soon.